Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about TYBA paper G3, that is General Paper 3. As we all know that the title of the paper is Advanced Study of English Language and Literature. So this paper contains concepts of language as well as concepts of literature. For TYBA, right now there is 80-20 pattern. It means that there will be annual examination of 80 marks and 20 marks will be allotted according to the term and examination. Now, what are the texts prescribed for the syllabus? As we have discussed that there are some points related to literature and some of the points related to language. So, according to the topics of literature, there is a collection of Indian English poetry prescribed in the text, as a text. For language section, Linguistics and Introduction is the book prescribed for the study. Now let us focus on what are the topics from the language or literature part. So first of all, we will deal with the part of literature. As we have discussed earlier, a collection of Indian English poetry is the book prescribed for the syllabus, and some of the poems which are prescribed in the text are as follows. For example, number 1, Henry Dorsio, Song of Hindustani Minstrel. Number 2, Rabindranath Tagore's Silent Sleep Steps. Number 3, Swami Vivekananda, that is Peace. Sarojini Naidu, Song of Radha, the Milkmaid. Number 5, Nizam Izackle, Poet, Lover, Birdwatcher. Number 6, Kamala Das, An Introduction. Number 7, A.K. Ramanujan, The Strider. And number 8, that is Adil Juswala, Sea the Breeze, Bombay. So in all there are 8 poems prescribed in the text for the first term. In the second term there will be 4 poems prescribed. They are as follows: Jayant Mahapatra's The Captive Heir of Chandipur on Sea, Arun Kolatkar's The Bus, Aga Ashid Ali's The Season of the Plains, Mamta Kalai, that is Tribute to Papa. So these 4 poems are prescribed for the second term. Now let us focus on the linguistic part of the syllabus. As we have discussed above, linguistic part of the syllabus is related to the book, that is Linguistics and Introduction, and chapter 5, 6 and 7 are related to the TYBA students or the syllabus. So for the first term we are going to discuss syntax. So now what we are going to discuss in syntax is concept of phrases, phrase structure, rules or types of phrases. For example, noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, prepositional phrase as well as verb phrase. In the same section, we are going to discuss about the concept of clause. For example, the parts of clauses, that is subjects, objects, complements, adverbials, concept of subject, verb, concards, clauses, patterns. In the same section, we are going to discuss the types of sentences, that is a structural classification. For example, simple sentences, compound sentences as well as complex sentences. Even we are going to discuss the types of sentences based on the functions. So the functional classification can be, for example, affirmative, interrogative, imperative sentences, WH type questions, yes no type questions, question tags, negative sentences and do support imperatives. In the second term, we are going to focus on the semantics as well as pragmatics. In semantics, at the introductory level, we are going to discuss what is meant by semantics, difference between denotative, connotative meanings, lexical relations, synonyms, antonyms, homonym, homography, homophony, polysemy, differences between homonym and polysemy. Even the subordinate terms and hyphonym as well as metonyms. While discussing about the pragmatics as the section, we are going to think about what is meant by pragmatics, what is meant by speech acts, and what are the types of speech acts. In this section, we are going to discuss different types of speech acts referred by different linguists. For example, Austin's typology, locationary, illocationary, perlocationary acts. Searle's typology, that there are 6 types of speech acts. Even we are going to discuss direct and indirect speech acts, the cooperative principle and its maxims, as well as the politeness principle and its maxims. So in all, in the second term, we are going to focus on the 2 sections of linguistics, that is semantics and pragmatics. So now just focus on the question paper pattern. As we have discussed the syllabus of the first term and the second term, right now we are going to discuss the term examination pattern for G3 paper, that is Advanced Study of English Language and Literature. So as we all know that term examination is of 60 marks and the allotted time limit is of 2 hours. So the question paper will be of 60 marks and the question paper will be divided into 5 questions. The first question is attempt any 2 out of 4 questions in about 100 words each. So in this first question, the questions will be asked on the poems from 1 to 4 prescribed from the first term, and there will be 12 marks. It means that each question carries 6 marks. The second question is about poems. The question will be like this: attempt any 2 out of 4 in about 100 words each. Questions on the poem from 5th to 8th prescribed from the first term. Again, this question is also of 12 marks and each question carries 6 marks. So the first 2 questions are related to the poetry section. In question number 3, there will be questions based on syntax. Again, here we find attempt any 2 out of 4 questions in about 100 words each, and the topic for the questions is syntax prescribed for the first term. This question also carries 12 marks, so each question has 6 marks. Now let us focus on question number 4. In question number 4, again we have to deal with syntax and we have to write short notes. 4 short notes will be given and we have to attempt any 2 out of them. And again, this question carries 12 marks. It means that we have to write the answer for each question and we have to write the answer for 6 marks. So question number 5 is divided into 2 parts. The first section is of a group related to reference to the context. We have to solve 2 questions out of 4. This question is related to the poetry section. We have to write down the reference to the context of 2 poems and each reference is about 3 marks. It means that we have to deal with this A section for 6 marks. B section of this question is about syntax prescribed for the first term and some objective questions will be asked. We have to deal with that practical or objective questions for 6 marks. So this is what we call the syllabus and what we call the question paper pattern for the term exam. I hope that it will be helpful for all the students to deal with the paper and tackle the queries in their minds. So I thank you all for this